What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl Frankie here, and yes, I have a story time for you guys. Last night, I worked last night. Like, I just got out of work not too long ago, and I went to Walmart. But I'm gonna tell you guys why I went to Walmart. Okay, but we'll get to that. So, anyways, I was at work last night, and I had to do a blood draw, right? And I'm pretty good at blood draws. I'm not bad at them or whatever, just depending on what their veins look like, because some of them I just don't even try. Like, I'm not that good. But anyways, so I find a vein in this lady hand. Looks like a couple people done stuck her there a couple times, so I'm like, okay, cool, it still look good, I can get that. Like, I'm like 100% confident I can get it. So I go to draw her blood, I get the needle in, and the blood is like stagnant, right? So I'm like, okay. And first of all, the little butterfly syringes, the little butterfly needles that they have on the end, it doesn't have the thing where you can click the tubes in and it just draw the blood out. You have to actually take a syringe, attach it, and like pull it out. Mind you, my coordination is not that great, but anyways, so I don't know who ordered supplies, but they need to be fired. Anyways, so I done got everything set up, blood stagnant. So I get to readjusting the needle and I start getting some blood. Then the blood stopped. So I'm like, okay, the vein blew. Okay, great, wonderful. But I had got just enough blood to fill up the tubes, like both tubes. You just need a little blood in each tube. So I'm like, cool, I'm probably okay. So I go ahead and disconnect it. Mind you, it's a whole thing. I don't want to get blood on me. So I disconnect it and, pull it out, put a Band-Aid on her, whatever. So I go take the blood because now I have to attach this needle to the syringe and poke it in the tube so it can go in the freaking tube, right? I go to do that and the blood is not going in the tube. So I'm like, okay, well, let me give it a little bit of pressure, right? Just a little bit, not a lot. I just wanted to see if it would come out, because I'm like, dang, otherwise I'm gonna have to manually like try to put this blood in this tube. Why do that? Why did I set myself up for failure? Because I did that and blood went everywhere. It literally exploded. Like, I had on a gown, so thank goodness, because she wasn't even a patient that required a gown. But however, anytime I'm drawing blood or dealing with any bodily secretions, I put on the gown because I don't want nothing to get on my uniform. So, and then we had on our face mask. Where is it? Our face mask, which go over. I had on my regular mask. I had on my gown, my gloves. So, y'all, this blood went everywhere. It was instantly when it splashed, I was just like, oh fuck. Like, in my mind, I didn't say it out loud, but in my mind I was like, what the blood was all over my gown, y'all. It was all over it, right? And it was all over the floor. It was all on the wall. And I'm like, what the fuck? So each room has like these bleach wipes, the ones with the orange top, like if a patient has C. diff or something, and then they also have a purple top, which is not as strong. But so of course I get up the blood, take off the gown, but in my mind I'm like, oh my god, did it get on me? Like, it went everywhere. Did it get on me? It didn't get on my mask. I was afraid that it got like on my neck, like, like, I don't know, like, I was just like, what the fuck? Anyways, so I get the blood, I clean up, wipe the walls down and everything, and take the blood, the little that I had got a little bit in the tube. So I was like, cool, hopefully the lab will accept it. I put it in a bag, send it off to lab. I immediately go tell my supervisor, like the charge nurse, hey, this what happened. If lab calls, I know why. They just bust out laughing. They was like, yeah, that was the wrong needle because it's two different type of needles, but they are the exact same color. But on the packaging, one will say like a filter needle and one would just say a blunt something. And she was like, oh, you're supposed to get this one. But people mix them up like in the bin. So you actually need to read the needles. So there y'all go. Read everything you pick up. Because me is normally in one bin and it says it on the box. So I'm like, okay, cool. No, it wasn't the right needle. So I'm like, fuck. So anyways, I go to the break room, you know, because first of all, I had her examine like my clothes. I'm like, look, can you tell me if there's blood on me? Like, because I just can't see. Like, I was so like paranoid. So anyway, she's like, no, you're fine. And they're like having a really good giggle about it, you know, and I'm just like, what the fuck? So I go to the break room, whatever. And sure enough, lab calls. They're like, oh, I'm calling for the nurse that drew the blood for patient, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, this is she. I'm like, did you not have enough blood? Like, I already knew it was something. I'm like, did you not have enough blood in the tubes? And he was like, no, it was clotted. I'm like, fuck. He's like, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna redraw it. He was like, okay, I'll put the order back in. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, thanks. So then I had to go back in there and get this lady blood. First of all, I had my bag together. I was ready, okay, because I was like, this is not gonna happen again. Got my bag together, like with all the things I needed. I went in her room, they gowned up, masked up, and I let her know, hey, you know, I gotta redo it. The lady was cool. She was like, okay, because I know she was looking at me, but she's like a confused patient, so she probably really didn't know what was going on for real, but she was like, okay. So this time, I went for the foot. I'm telling you, if you have problems finding veins in their hands, go to their foot. Sometimes they be having some good veins in their foot, okay? So I took off her socks. Went to her foot, boom, all good veins. I'm like, oh, I got it, no problems. I'm 100% confident again. And yes, I nailed it. Okay, I nailed it. So I got the blood, everything went good. I had the right needle, so when I transferred, it just went straight into the tube. It wasn't no resistance, no problems. Like, but I had to tell y'all that. Like, I was just like, what the heck? It was blood everywhere. It like a murder scene, y'all. It looked like somebody got like shot or stabbed to death. Like, it was blood everywhere, and like, it was bad. Like, housekeeping is definitely gonna have to go mop this lady room, because I got up as much as I could, but then I did start noticing like little specks at like the entrance of her door, and I'm like, how did the blood get all the way over here? Like, it was everywhere. It did not get on her bed though, and it did not get on her sheets or her, and it didn't get on like my shoes or whatever parts that was exposed. It didn't get on me, and I was just like, but it got everywhere else, and I was like happy with that. But anyways, I went to Walmart because I needed to get some Clorox like laundry bleach sanitizer. I had some, but I was out, because as soon as I get in this house, I'm stripping these clothes off and they're going straight in the washer, and I need to sanitize them. So that's why I went to Walmart. So I told you I was going to get to that point, but I know it took too long. But yes, read everything that you have. Everything that you need to get, you need to read all the labels. And anytime you're drawing blood or anything, put on the face shield. Put on all of it. I don't even care if they're on contact isolation. I don't care if they're on no isolation. Put on everything, okay? Put on the gown, the gloves, the mask, everything. Because hopefully you guys will learn from what just happened to me, so it doesn't happen to you. But if something like that has happened to you, I would love to hear it. Definitely comment it down below. But other than that, like, I just had to share that with you guys, because yeah, I was like so paranoid the rest of my shift, thinking I got blood somewhere on me. Like, I wiped my shoes down with the bleach wipes. Like, I just didn't know. Like, I'm just like, oh my goodness, please don't let blood be all over me. It wasn't. I'm fine, but it was a good learning experience. So from now on, I definitely will be reading all of the packaging, and yeah, I will definitely continue to wear my gown, my gloves, my goggles, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I just had to share that with you. But if you have any questions for me, comment them down below. And you guys already know, like always, I'll see you guys in the next video. I need to take a nap. Peace.